Hello everyone, welcome to the Anomaly Workshop, and welcome to episode 1 of our world-building series. In this first part, we'll talk about the creation of the world, the gods, and the beings that exist in this universe, while you watch a speedpaint related to the narration. There are subtitles in English and in Spanish available, so make sure to check them out if you want to have them on. With that being said, enjoy the episode. Anomalía develops inside a universe situated between the 60s and 80s in our world. This universe is ruled by the energy inside of each being, and in some cases, it presents itself as powers unique in each individual. These are born with that innate connection to a card, which can provide them with certain physical characteristics and determine a big part of their destinies. It's a known fact the creators of the universe are called Red and Teal, more often called by the title the Creators, divine and omnipotent beings that possess control of all universal energy and rules. These figures are interpreted in different ways, meaning they represent different aspects depending on each person. They symbolize goodness and evil, as well as the 4 elements: destiny, the beginning and end of events, life, death, historical and personal occurrences. At first, the creators were the only existing beings, becoming the personification of universal energy. With this divine power, they created Earth and all that forms it. In it, they planted life, making humans and different types of rational creatures come into existence. These 2 kinds of beings coexisted and respected each other, forming families and descendants mixed between humans and creatures. Part of the creator's energy manifested in 22 cards, called main cards, Tarot's major arcana in our world, which were granted at random to 22 beings around the Earth. When these beings passed away, the cards returned to the universe to be once again distributed among the population. As they started reproducing, from their offspring surged more and more cards that would fulfill the same cycle, following the life and death of their owners. Generations went by, and the cards that generated possessed less power each time, as they were straying more and more from the pure, original energy of the main cards, which were granted directly by the creators. The cards closer to these are called descendant cards, while the furthest are denominated familiar cards. After many generations, cards weren't surging from the main card's direct descendants anymore, making it so that the carrier of a card was now chosen completely at random. In this new era, new cards began generating out of new concepts society brought energy to, through their knowledge and acceptance of said concepts. For example, at the beginning of time, the concept of bombs didn't exist, which is why the card the Warhead was born after their invention and general knowledge of their existence. Even if the obtention of a card is random, possessing it can shape the destiny of its owner, making them more likely to go through certain situations along their life, develop physical or personality traits, attract specific people, occupations, etc. Moving on to the owners of the universe, the appearance that's given to the creators differs between the different religions, cultures, cities, and even from person to person. However, there are certain features that are kept, as they are the main characteristics of these gods. Their clothing, similar to robes with capes and hanging fabric, Red's horns and warm colors, and Teal's raincloud headpiece and cold colors. This resembles how in our universe, religious figures are represented in different ways around the world, but they maintain their most important and distinctive characteristics. It's known by everyone that Red and Teal are the manifestation of all existence, all individual and universal energy. Even if different levels and ways of worship exist, and there are different theories about specific parts of history, myths and legends, stories and anecdotes, there's no doubt about the existence of Red and Teal as carriers and manifestations of universal energy, creators of the cards and omnipotent beings. As this is a proven fact, it's one of the only things modern time people agree on. Just like their appearance, what they represent also depends on the beliefs of each person. They're fair gods that created beings to their likeness, so they have good parts just like they have bad ones. Some consider them as good-natured, protective, loving, and constantly helping and watching over their creation, incapable of hate or resentment. Others, on the contrary, believe them to be vengeful, severe, punishing the world with or without a reason. There are also those who see them as indifferent, omnipresent beings that watch over their creation with disdain after abandoning them or never being there for them in the first place. Even so, one of the most common theories is that, as said before, the creators are very alike to rational beings. They can care in the most delicate ways, just like they can punish harshly. Both represent positive sides of the universe as well as negative ones, and are present in every success, whether it's considered good or bad. Some beings respect them only, others dedicate their life to their veneration, and some are completely indifferent to them. There are different thoughts and points of view on the creators, as there are beings in the world. Greek gods, angels, and any other divine entity separate from the creators was generated from the beliefs people put energy into, and that in a way, the creators allowed to exist. These gods are personifications of elements of the world, like aspects of nature. This is different from rain and teal, who represent the entire concept of the universe. However, these entities weren't originally created by the creators, but were allowed to exist after early beings granted them energy. Good and bad originated from veneration or fear, thus giving them life and existence according to it. That wraps up the first part of the series. In this initial piece, we wanted to represent the way cards go back to the universe once energy masters die, as well as the realm where Raid and Teal exist. It would be like a void, as this is not a physical place. They exist within time, space, and reality. Those are the designs for both gods, Raid on the left and Teal on the right. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2 and see you in the next video. Bye bye!